Hey everyone, it's David the Pro Soul Flipper here. If you have not seen my videos before, I am a full-time reseller or seller on eBay mostly. I do this for a living. It is my only income. My wife typically has an income too, but right now she's not working. So right now it's our only income. I wanted to put together a video today for about April and about how April went, and I'm going to share my numbers and show you a breakdown of my numbers basically about how well I did for April. If you watch my previous videos, you know that my wife is not working right now. She has a compromised immune system, so we made the decision for her to stay home. So we only are relying on my income right now. And typically, my reselling income is about half of our income, and she has the other half. So we were a little bit stressed when this all kind of started going down. A little bit stressed financially because we didn't know how we were going to get by, or how much of our savings we were going to have to use up, or how much debt we would have to go into. But eBay sales have been fire lately, so eBay has really picked up the slack. We're a month into the quarantine. We haven't had to use any of our savings at all yet. In fact, our savings rate at the moment are a little bit higher than they were before. But like I mentioned in my last video, it's only been a couple weeks since my wife received her last paycheck, so that could change as things go on. Just depending on how long she stays home. So anyway, like I said, April was a great month. It's actually my best month ever. It was a record month for me by quite a bit, and so I just wanted to share with you my numbers. In detail. I'll kind of show you my spreadsheet like I have before previously for other months, and kind of go over a breakdown of my numbers and just kind of give you a glimpse into what I actually did for the month of April, and then I'll kind of talk about the why, or the reasons for why I think my sales were so good after I show you the spreadsheet. So here comes the spreadsheet. All right, so here's my spreadsheet. This is showing my monthly totals. If you can see this, it's not looking very bright, but you should be able to see it okay. So you can see here, this is my monthly sales so far through the year, and just right off the bat, there you can see my eBay sales for the month, $17,095. So it was an amazing month for me. That is a great month for me. That is by far the best month I've ever had. I think the best month I had before that was November of last year in fourth quarter, when I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was about 13,300. So almost 4,000 more than my best fourth quarter month ever. So I'm really happy with that. It's, like I said, eBay has really stepped up to help us out financially right now with my wife not working. If you compare that to the year before, for the April for 2019, which I was full time, my listings weren't as high, but I only had just over 9,000. So just an incredible jump from the previous year, an incredible jump from the previous month. Last month, March, was only 10,600 with a similar amount of listings, and definitely better than January and February. So and then I had just a little bit on Amazon, $100, and local was really good too. I was selling quite a bit of stuff. Um, most of that $1,440 was for one sale of a preamplifier and amplifier Onkyo that I picked up at the thrift store for. It was one of the best scores I've ever had. I picked it up, the whole system, for $80 at the thrift store. There was two sets of speakers. There was that amp, preamp, CD player, and a tuner. Is that it? I think that's it. Anyway, I paid $80 for all of it. I sold the amplifier and the preamplifier for $800 locally. So that's where that 1440 came from. Most of it came from, and then I've been selling quite a bit of stuff, smaller priced items, also locally on Facebook Marketplace. So the total for the month, 18,634, which is just, I think it's amazing. I'm really happy with it. So if I could, to put things in perspective, if I could sell that at that level all year round, I would be making over 100,000 a year easy. So great month. And I didn't source as much. I still managed to source quite a bit. I didn't really wasn't really I didn't really realize how much I had sourced this month until I had actually looked at my total dollar amount spent. But there is a local auction company that was still doing online auctions, and I was able to pick up a couple loads from there. So that was the main of it. But I did end up spending over $1,500 sourcing still this month. So there was those two auctions. I've scored quite a few things off of Facebook Marketplace, and then also a little bit of online arbitrage. So I did spend 1,500. But when I figured all this out, so here's my eBay sales, 17,000. Typically, I haven't really looked, but on average, I think that my selling costs are 35% or so, which would be my shipping and my fees, eBay fees, PayPal fees, and my shipping. So if it was 17,095, I'm just going to do this on a calculator real quick. 17,095 times 0.65, which would be what would I be left over after my selling costs, is 11,111. If you add that, and then you add, so the 11,100, and then my Amazon and local sales were just about equal to the amount I spent on inventory this month. So you could just those kind of cancel out. So I cash flowed over $11,000 this month. So that's just pure cash flow coming in, and that's really good because so I've pretty much transferred most of that money to my bank account, and so we actually have more money sitting in the savings right now than we did when this whole quarantine everything started. So I don't know what May is going to look like, but as you can see right below here, we're on May 1st. It's not even 1 p.m. here in Idaho yet, and I've already got 10 sales for $460. So hopefully May continues to be as good as April. I don't know what it is. I think that sales are going to start slowing down, but we'll see. And I'll talk about, after I show you the spreadsheet, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I think these numbers were so good. There's a few different reasons going or into why I think my sales are so strong. But so that's kind of my monthly totals there. You can see down here at the bottom. So far for this year, I'm 44,363. So, I mean, there's a big variance between these months, but you can see that after 4 months, I'm averaging 11,000 a month. So that's pretty good, especially for this time of year. I mean, first quarter is obviously not, or I don't know if it's obvious or not, but it's typically not my best quarter. It's probably, I would say it's not my lowest quarter. I would say second quarter is typically my lowest. First quarter is probably my second lowest, and then third quarter is probably my second best, and fourth quarter is typically my best. So great start to the year. We'll see what the remaining quarter. I guess this is the first quarter on the first 3 months. So I guess the 17 is actually the start of the second quarter. So typically second quarter is my worst month. So the fact that I started the first month of the second quarter off with 17,000 is great. So anyway, I'll switch over to this other tab and kind of show you a little bit more detail about my numbers. So you can see here that I sold 555 items this month, which is insane. So my best month was like I said was November of fourth quarter last year, and I think that what I sold that month, if I'm remembering right, I think I can see it right here maybe. Yes. So here's my best month ever before. If you can see my pointer down here, November, or I guess it was October of last year was my best month. So 13,278. I sold 371 items. That is the most items I've ever sold in a month, and that's the highest dollar amount I've ever sold in a month. So you go back to this month, I sold 555. So I've never even sold 400 before, and this month I sold 555 items for $17,000. Compared to that, I mean, that's just, so I'm super happy. I will say that my average selling price has dropped a little bit, and there's a couple reasons for that. So I'll talk about that in a minute as well. I guess I'll just go ahead and talk about that. No, I'll talk about that in a minute, about the reasons for why my sales are so strong this month. There's 3 main reasons, and I'm going to go over those. So you can see here that I started the month off with 1,397 listings for 40,000, and I am just starting May off with slightly below that. So I like to see those numbers go up, but I'm gonna say I'm okay with this because I had 555 items sell during the month, which is way higher than normal. So what that means is basically I've maintained my inventory level while selling that many. So that's basically saying that I probably listed about 550, maybe not quite as many because I do have some multiples, but I listed over 500 new items throughout the month of April. So I'm pretty happy with that. I guess also another reason why my sales are so strong is that I was listing a lot of new stuff. So I'm starting off this May with this many listings, 1,387 listings for 39,871. That's already dropped by 10 because I've sold 10 today and I haven't listed anything yet. So, and like I said, I'm at $460 so far for the day. So, I mean, sales are just going crazy right now. In April, I averaged over 18 sales a day for $567, I think it came to. So, I mean, 567 a day is crazy. So if I could do that all year round, I would definitely be I would be netting over $100,000 a year. Of course, that's probably not going to happen. You know, it didn't happen in the first few months, but that's just putting some things into perspective. I mean, that's just a great income. So that's kind of my spreadsheet. I don't really know what else to show you here, so I'm just going to I'm just going to go now. I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about the few reasons why I think my sales were so strong. So that's my spreadsheet. All right, so that's my spreadsheet. That's going to show my numbers in detail. 17,000 on eBay plus another 1,500 or so for my other two sources. So over 18,000 for April is crazy. I hope that sales will stay up for a while. So I'll talk now about why I think my sales were so good. So first and foremost, I think reselling in general is up for across the board. So I've seen a lot of people saying they're having record numbers and lots of sales. So I don't think it's anything special that I'm doing. That is the main reason. I think that people are home, people are quarantined, people are not working, people are at home. People are not wanting to go to the stores to buy stuff, and so I think they are turning to online sources more and more. So I just think it's the market right now. I think that people are, like I said, they're just buying more and more online. So it has nothing to do with what I'm doing. I was just fortunate enough to have had my listings up when this all started, and so things are selling at a much faster pace than normal. So, I mean, I average 18 sales a day, which is crazy. I mean, I think a normal amount would have been 12 per day or so. So that's almost a third higher than what I think I normally would have sold. So I think that, so if my sales were 17,000, maybe they would have only been 12,000 if I wasn't seeing the increased, just generally increased amount of sales. So that's the main reason is that I think that it's just the market. People are at home. People are not wanting to go to stores, and so they're buying more online. So that's the main reason I think my sales have been better. Then there are two other reasons. The second will be my wife is at home and she's helping me. So that's kind of a two-part thing to that. So she's helping me get more listings than I would have done by just a little bit. And the reason it's only a little bit, I think, well, there's a couple things at play here. So first, we thought she would be able to help me kind of on a full-time basis, but we were only thinking about homeschooling and how much work that would take. So my wife is homeschooling our daughter, and so that's taking, I would say, about half a day every day. And then, she's doing other stuff too. So she's just doing like, cooking meals or just doing other household stuff. So she's not helping us quite as much as we thought. And sales are great, so it's not really a concern right now. So I would say that she's probably helping somewhere between 10 and 20 hours a week or so, and just some here or there. So she might come take pictures for an hour or something, and then and maybe an hour later at some other point she's going to put them into drafts or something. But the other thing that she's helping do is that we're listing different stuff than I normally list. So we're listing a lot of electronics that have been sitting on my shelves that I haven't got to, or kitchen stuff, household goods, or whatever. And so what she's doing is helping test that stuff, clean that stuff, prep it, take pictures, and draft. And not for all of it. I'm doing some of that on my own. Like I started taking pictures of some stuff by my own too. But that's kind of the stuff that she's doing. And that stuff tends to be higher price items. And so that's another reason why the income's higher. So kind of a two-part thing is that her helping has helped me get listings up, replenish all the stuff that's selling, keeping my total number of listings up higher, and then she's also helping me, get some of that stuff out of the garage and storage that have a higher average selling price. I'm selling, CD changers that sell for over $100, or bread machines, or latte makers that sell for over $100. Stuff that takes time to clean and test, and then once they sell, it takes a little bit longer to ship also. But so first reason is just the market. Everything is selling faster, and so more people are shopping online. Second would be my wife is at home. She's helping me 10 to 20 hours a week, I would say, with listing, prepping, testing, taking pictures, and drafting stuff. So that's been a good boost to help me keep my listings up. Otherwise, I think I would have seen my numbers would have dropped by a couple hundred this month, probably. That's my guess. With the amount of stuff that's selling, instead of being almost at where I was at the start of the month, my listings being the same, I probably would have been a couple hundred listings lower. There's a good chance of that, I think. So that's number two. And then number three is, if you follow me on Instagram, I kind of shared my numbers there. People were asking me, why I don't send best offers. So I did that experiment, I think on the 1st of April, maybe the 2nd, I can't remember, but I sent 500 something offers, and it went pretty well. I think I got 36 sales out of it, if I remember right, or something like that, or maybe 39. 36 sales just from the offer, in addition to my other sales for those 2 days. So I think I sold 32 things that first day or something, which was a record number for me. And so it went pretty well. And so it wasn't something I used as part of my strategy for reselling, but I figured I'd give it an experiment. I'd say it went fairly well. And I gotta say it was kind of addictive, sending out those offers and getting some immediate sales. I mean, when I did that first batch of offers, I guess you're going to recall it, I had I don't remember, it was like a bunch of sales, like maybe 7 sales in the first 15 minutes or something. So my phone was going off. That's kind of fun. And because of the success of that, I would say I've probably done that a few times this month, a few more times this month. So maybe 4 or 5 times I've sent offers this month. So I think that may be another reason why my sales are up higher. I think a lot of that stuff would have sold anyway without the offers, but maybe not quite as much. So that's probably the third reason why my sales are up. So to recap, for the 3 reasons, I think is just the market is doing great. People are online buying more. Second is my wife is home, so that's helped me sell higher price items that take longer to get listed and to keep my numbers up. And then third is I've been sending offers, bulk offers. So I sent 500 something the first time. I sent a couple hundred, I think, the second time, and then I've sent like 100 once or twice, and then maybe 50 a couple times. I don't know. So they've been getting smaller and smaller because I've been doing it. I like doing it because when I send the offers, I get almost immediate sales almost every time. So, and by the way, those offers are 10% off offers. So, I've just been selecting all that were eligible and putting in 10% offer. You can do this from Seller Hub and eBay. If you go to your listings, and you'll see at the top, it'll say eligible to send offers or something like that. You click on that, and then you click at the top box to select all of them. It'll bring up a box. You just put in whatever percentage you want, and then there's a generic message, which I just left it on there, and then, or you can change it to whatever you want, I guess. And then I just sent, and I got sales within minutes. So almost every time I've done it. So That's what I've done, and I think there's an option to accept counter offers or not, and I have not been doing that. I don't really want to deal with people giving me counter offers or not. So anyway, because of that, I was going to mention about my average selling price. I think that's affected my average sale price for the month a little bit because I would say that overall those best sending those offers out has probably resulted in maybe, I don't know, I guess 100 of my sales this month from the month of April were probably from those sending those offers. So, and those 100 sales were 10% lower than what they normally could have been, I guess. And so maybe that's affected my average sale price by just a little bit, maybe a dollar or two overall. But anyway, that's kind of it. That's my numbers for April. Great month. It's May 1st, halfway through the day, and like I said, I've got 10 sales already. So hopefully May will continue. Here's what I think. I think sales are going to continue to be strong for a little bit, and I think they're going to gradually go back down to a normal level as stay-at-home orders get lifted, and people start going about to their normal routines and go back to shopping in the stores and things like that. Plus, it's summer, so summer tends to be a little bit slower as people get outside and do more, and they're not sitting at home inside shopping. So I think that it's going to slowly go back down to normal levels. We'll see how long it holds out. The longer the better, I guess, for me, right? And then fourth quarter will be here. So hopefully they'll stay a little bit elevated until fourth quarter, and then we'll have a normal fourth quarter, and it should end up being a strong year. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. I read all the comments, and if you got questions, I can answer those for you. My spreadsheet that you saw in there in the video earlier in this video is available for sale. There's a link in the description if you're looking to start tracking your numbers. It's $9. Check it. I have another video on it if you want to check it out in more detail. If you want some ideas for creating your own, or if you want to buy it for $9, it's available. I also have an eBay seller's guide available for $18. If you're just getting started, or if you've started and you really want to get your sales up to the next level, you can check that out. It's $18 as well. There's a link in the description. Follow me on Instagram if you want see daily posts from me. Same account there, Pro Solo Flipper. Subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more. That really helps me out. Hopefully everybody else is seeing record sales for them too at whatever level you're at. Listing remains the key. So if you can get the listings up, you'll be successful, and you can keep breaking records. So I think that's all I've got. Anyway, like I said, comment below if you have any questions or suggestions. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, staying healthy, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.